and has never done a RT-PCR test in his life. Otherwise, he will never think of, think positive. Now, today I am going to tell you my story. I didn't have any time to, prepare anything. I kept saying that I want to prepare, I want to prepare. You have to, sometimes look very serious about life. But frankly, I didn't have any time. So I thought, why not I share my story with you guys. So I will start with 10th. I was in 10th. Father was my hero. And whatever my father will do, I will try to follow him. So he used to pray a lot. I started prayers. He used to visit temples a lot. I started visiting temples. He used to drink 20-25 cups of tea a day. I started drinking lots of cups of tea a day. He was a smoker and drinker. Sorry. So, now the fun part of it is that when he told me, what are you going to do after 10th? He was conservator of forests. My mother was a doctor. So everybody thought that, I will do IAS or something. But then sometimes you know what you can do in life. And I choose engineering. So the only branch I got in from a diploma was electrical. How many of you are from civil, electrical, mechanical here? Anybody? Now these guys will understand me. Civil, electrical and mechanical. They are the deserts in engineering. Electronics, IT, computers, they are oases, beaches, mountains. I got into electrical. So, when I finished my diploma and got into a job, you know where I got the job? A cement plant. You can understand how much haryali there will be. And after that, they are not promoting me to be a production engineer. So I said, what I need to do? They said, you should have either experience. You should be an engineering graduate. I said, engineering graduation seems easy. So I went for my engineering. And when I was going to take another seat, going to be, I asked my brother, which branch has maximum girls, bro? He said, computer engineering. And there I was in computer engineering. Some people are born lucky. Senior branch, senior engineering branch, 35 girls out of 60. Juniors, 45 out of 60. Our branch, all 60 boys. Bloody buggers, they all took engineering admission in computers because they all were thinking like me. Which branch has got some girls? Here you go, karma, somebody was talking about it right now. Karma sometimes is a bitch. Okay? It bites you very badly. Anyways, now if you go to a D grade college, no one has even heard about the same city the college is in. You know how good their on-campus recruitment will be? So after my engineering, finding a job was very easy. 100 odd rejections. At least 500 times, sir, please. I will send my resume. And the fun part is, and you should not do it with others, that when you say, I am trying to find out a job, what you say? Oh yes, send me your resume, send me your CV, here's my email ID. What you do after? My days, you had to, email was not still as popular as in my days, so you will, take a printout, 6 rupees a printout, you give it to person. And what I saw, my wife told me years later that we used to have a samosa party after we had a bunch of resumes together as HR team. So we will sell the raddi and then HR team will have the samosa party of all the resumes. Think of it, you are getting a samosa in your own CV. How tasty that would be. I got the job, people said you need to code. Now my life is very simple. A, B, D, E, F. What's missing? C, C++, B, C++. Not in my life. So they said, you will be a tester. I said, thank you very much. You are giving me a job. Even if you tell me to sweep the floors, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. So I started working as a tester, and that is where my I made a joke about it, where my life took a turn, because I hear this all in conferences a lot of times. My life really took a turn on that day. Serious speakers, you know what to do. So on a particular day, my life really took a turn when I was talking to this person, an idea clicked. If all these ideas will click and the life will start taking this turn, world would have been a better place than it is today. Okay, but it is not. But anyways, see, I was without a job and I became a tester, and things started happening. One of the traits that testers have is attention to detail. Now, notice all the colleagues around you. I call them social monsters. I'll tell you why. There's a typical monster that I have identified among us. I call that person colleagues' envy, managers' pride. You know why? This guy listens to you very quietly, always in the group. Once you are done with manager, then goes to manager. Hey boss, you know what the team is talking about you? Then there are people, around us. Anybody from Gujarat here? Okay, nice. Now in Gujarat, especially in the Kathiawadi community, there is full form of MBA. Here MBA means Mane Batu Ave. You will understand it. Mane Batu Ave means I know everything. Now there are people around us who I call them MBA monsters. They know everything. You talk about a tool, they would have worked on the tool. You talk about a technology, they would have worked on the technology. You talk about a domain, they would have worked on the domain, until you take an actual problem to them. And that day they will say, oh, this is the only thing missing in my work. Otherwise, I know everything. Then they are shh monsters. Now what is shh monsters? Their first dialogue before they say anything is, shh, don't tell it to anybody. This is going to happen. I also sometimes call them municipal monsters. You know why? Because you have seen municipal taps. They are in every home. They are all interconnected. Every home. These guys know in and out of whatever is happening on the floor. So, who's the person engaged with? Who are the two people going to the party? What is manager doing? What are the people doing? They know all the love affairs on the floor. They know all the breaks on the floor. They also know how much your appraisal is going to be. But don't tell it to anybody. Okay? Then there are technical jargon monsters. Their job is very simple. Okay? So let's go to my friend Brijesh. Brijesh, say anything about testing. So do you guys understand what he means? Testing is not just testing. So if you look at ISO 25010, functionality, reliability, usability, efficiency, maintainability, portability, everything comes under testing. White box testing, black box comes under. So people like me go like, oh wow, this guy knows so much. These are technical jargon monsters. And they are sleeping monsters. How many of you have attended meetings? How many of you have been sleeping in a meeting? See, humans evolve. Darwin says that. Now, when humans evolve, so you say, this guy is clever like, isn't it? Shared dil. What is shared dil? Modi ji might say us, what is shared dil, but anyways, not going into the political discussion here. Shared dil means a guy who is lion-hearted. Yes or no? Yeah. Nobody tells you we can sleep like owls. They sleep with their eyes open. I've seen in meetings people sleeping. We are so evolved that when somebody calls us in the meeting, hey Ramit, good point. The only thing they have to offer to the world is good point. I'll get back to you, that's another one. Now, whatever we have learned in our engineering, The one thing that every engineering college misses us, to teach us is how to get successful in life. What is the real mantra of success? I cannot get it better than, Hindi. Sorry for the guys who don't understand English. Chapalusi, Makkari, Chamchagiri. Nobody teaches us that. So there are these monsters who do what? Whenever the boss says something, they are like, oh boss, what an idea. The idea drops the day they have decided. Boss, इसने इसको मैनेजर बनाया। कुछ नहीं आता भाई, कुछ नहीं। कौन बनाया रे इसको मैनेजर? They are like, there are people like that. So another beautiful thing that I learned in my job is how people communicate. Now, English is, de facto language in our industry, isn't it? But then lots of people in the world, except English, nobody probably, most of the world speak is bilingual, at least, if not, India is, little advanced, so we know 3, 4, 5 languages. And when you think in your language and convert it very quickly in your head and try to speak English, disasters can happen. I got a leave request one day. Ramit, I will need a leave for 2 days as my mother-in-law is the only one responsible for it. One day, one guy said, hey, Ramit, I will need 2 days of leave because I'm going to go to my village to shave my son's head off. Mundan, covered letter. So we put an advertisement in newspaper, wanted testers, and then in races, males or females, manual or automation. You will not understand it, but then we do understand it. Male or female, manual automation for Noida location with this much of notice period, blah blah blah. So a cover letter comes to us, very beautiful cover letter. Dear sir, /ma'am, applying for the post of tester, whatever the heading was, male or female, automation or manual, both. And can do both. I'm the right fit for the job. इस आदमी को लेकर सबसे पहले इसका इंटरव्यू देंगे। भैया क्या कर सकते हो तुम? बताओ। Okay. So I think when you speak in English, think in English. Otherwise, there can be multiple disasters that can happen. When we write emails, probably. Now, after many years spending in testing, my life got to an all-time low. My parents probably thought the same, and they said, Ramit, you should get married. How many of you are married here? I'm not finding another prospect, don't worry. Now, for all the ladies here, my pranam to all of them, because, living a girl's life, husband is difficult, super serious, so only you can do it. We don't have that kind of courage. But then, for boys, you cannot speak true. Truth is gone in your life once you're married. One day, my wife comes back from the parlor. He says, how am I looking? All that glitters is not gold, baby. No girl ever in my life has listened to me. Believe me, engineering, I proposed at least 15 times. And my entire engineering life can be summed up in those 3 special words. Can anybody tell me what are these 3 words?
You're a good friend.
Nobody loves me. That's my life in engineering. 15 times, will you believe it? I used to fall in love more than a toddler will fall trying to, understand how to walk. And I'm like, oh wow, she is the girl, I was waiting for her. Until you go there, say, hey, hello. The only English that day I knew was, hi, my name is Ramit, I want to be friends with you. This was the entire dictionary in my life. And if the girl, I was expecting girl to simply do this. And if one day, one girl told me, I was not able to relate mind and business for next many days. So I asked a lot of my friends, what do you mean by mind your own business? But there's all electrical engineers. तो बोल क्या उसको भैया यार तू हमसे तो ज्यादा ताकतवर है भाई हमसे तो बोला भी नहीं जाता. So coming back to my marriage, I love my wife.
We are not recording this.
You are recording it?
No, we are not.
I love my wife.
We are recording the parlor.
Hey, Nina, I love you. We live in a joint family. Me, my wife, and my 2 kids. Somebody might say, why this is joint? Baba, 15 years of marriage, still living with the same girl. Today's world is joint. We have separate rooms though. We live in a joint family. So I have a lot of instances, that happen. Now I cannot be serious in my life. Some of you might would have noticed it from yesterday. I've never been serious in my life. So next problem is I'm brutally honest. Serious plus honest. You should be lucky to be at my age. Okay. Plus, when you are talking to your wife and you are brutally honest, it's a deadly combination. So we have a lot of times, when we are talking to each other. Now I love scotch. So one day I was having my scotch. My wife was sitting next to me in sofa. We were watching Netflix. And I said, I love you. So my wife said, are you talking to me? No, I'm talking to my scotch. Definitely. So if you are married, my unsolicited suggestion to you is,
To whom? Girl or a boy?
girls, I want to name to you all. I cannot beat them on any given day. No, you guys are wonderful. There's no doubt about it. Please send it to my wife. I'll be super happy. Okay. Anyways, how many of you here are manual testers? No one. All of you are automation testers? Okay. How many of you are leading a team? Wow. So are you a manual lead or an automation lead? Both. So how do you become both? Can you do both?
Purposefully answer this question because.
Sir, sit down. I am the only one trust with you, and the cameraman. That's it. दिल्ली में हमारे कहावत है, लकड़ी क्यों पड़ी है झाड़ी में, आगे खुद ढूंढो. हाँ, देखो मेरा भाई आ गया. Anyways, so you are a lead. I asked the question: manual lead or automation? How?
See, some projects they do automation, some projects do manual. I am
Okay.
handling both the teams.
So handling both the teams and being a manual lead and automation lead are two things. Yes, Brajesh? Yes. Yeah, see, Brajesh agrees with me. Nicely paid him. Collaboration. This is such a funny thing, How many of you have collaborated with your developers? Oh, nice. So when you take a bug to them, welcome, you found a bug, yippee, let's fix it together, isn't it? No? What they say?
He said
This works on my computer.
This works on my computer. So I was sitting in a beautiful country called Mexico. We are doing GoT, bug after bug after. Okay. The person who was our client representative was a girl. Chivalry pays. Okay. So now when the bugs are coming, the client is not looking at me. The client is looking at developer. Why there are so many bugs? Developer looks at me. How this tide has turned towards me? It should be towards the tester. He said, it doesn't. Happens on my system. So I told my client, why don't you buy this person's laptop? Unnecessarily paying so much money to, get all this software. Buy the person's laptop. Why? Nothing happens on this laptop. Nothing happens. Just make sure that you don't marry the laptop. Because nothing happens on the laptop. Otherwise, there are no bugs in this person's life. This guy is super, no problem. And that is where I think adversity and loss makes you wise. Yes or no? Ask any married man. How many of you have heard about a bird is in hand is better than two in a bush? Everyone? I realize this is not the real truth. With two in a bush, you still have hope. When you are married, hope is. Now, how many of you know that I worked with Pradeep? I especially made a joke for Pradeep, I wanted to roast Pradeep. And I told him that I'm going to roast him. So yesterday when he said, I'm not coming today, I said, I'll still roast you. Good. So, some of you know that I worked with Pradeep. So one day there is a client in our office, Mulya. And Deep is in his cabin. I welcomed my client, settled him in the meeting room. Then I go to Pradeep's cabin. How many of you saw Pradeep's talk yesterday? Good. So you will probably try to relate it. So I go to Pradeep's cabin. Here's Pradeep. So Pradeep, the client is saying, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Now when your CEO says you can do it, you feel very proud about it, isn't it? It took me some time. He was talking to himself. From that day onwards, whenever he said directly something to me, I'll say, is it for you or for me? So, when your boss tells you something, you should be very sure about whether it is for you or boss himself or herself. How many of you work hard, really slog it out all the time? I'm so happy.
Who was that? Oh my God.
No, seriously, you guys are not hardworking. Two of you. Okay. This might go bad for you. Warning you. Okay. Think of it. Your salary is 1 lakh. 100,000 Indian rupees for my foreign friends. Okay? 1 lakh. You slog it out. Day in and day out. 14 hours, 15 hours. Will hope. 20% in a services company? Yes. 5-star rating? Lots of appreciation emails. But 20%? People like me who don't work at all.
Hardly working.
Hardly working. No, not 19%. Let us say 5%. So my salary becomes 1 to, your salary is 1 to 120. How much finance minister took from that 20,000? 30%. So now what is your effective salary? 114. Out of that 5,000, 30% tax. What is my salary now? 3,500. What's the difference? 10,000 rupees. Slog it. Keep doing it. 10,000 rupees a month. Keep going on. What I do in my weekends, I enjoy. What you do on your weekends? Sir, I've done it. Sir, I've done it. Should I leave? No, no, please do this one more work. Very nice. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Good, sir. Thank you, sir. And slog it. You have to decide for those 10,000, 20,000 odd rupees per month, are you going to slog it out forever in your life? No. For the single people, get then you are slogging 24 hours. Okay.
This way nobody would like to get married. Ramit, you are
That is what the point is.
demotivating
That is what the point is.
You are pushing married people in depression. Oh my God, there is no state. There is
See, I am generating employment. People go into depression. People go into depression. Doctors get, lawyers get money. Economy, therapists get a lot of money about it, and your husbands get a life.
This is so neat.
That was a brilliant one.
you're multitasker, man, the divorce as well. Here is for you.
I think the best match can be people marrying to a dog.
Girls married to a dog.
Even boys. Who will come running to you shaking that? Even if you have closed that, for 12 hours in your home, Papa is back, wow. Do you think anybody is going to do it for you? What world you are living in? You are living in a dream world, my friend. Bolt a dog, bolt your wife. Open that after 12 hours. And she was happy looking at you. Okay, so the idea is, get married to a dog. And you know the best part about dog? You get a chance to change after 14 years. What else you need in life? 14 years, you are done. Next one. Even if you get a new one, during those 14 years, the other one is not going to cry about it. Okay. Girls in my life have been beautiful. My daughter, for example, she is about 10. So one day, she made me very proud with the first dialogue. She said, "Hey Ramit," she calls me Ramit. She calls me Ramit. Poor girl, mother tongue, no father tongue, no papa. So she said, "Ramit," I said, "Yes, darling, I want to buy a Lamborghini." Nice, good, do, work hard. Slog for it, you will get it. Now, you work hard. How can you buy a Lamborghini? You will die, I will inherit the wealth. Believe me, if I had that kind of clarity at my age of 9, no girl in my family listens to me. I said other day, "Alexa, damn Siri, I'm not talking to you again." Done. Siri died. No? See? Siri. No reply. I have an iPhone. It is not that, I am on Android and I am saying Siri. The only thing now I remember about Siri is that there is something called a Siri Garuda in Jammu. There is a nice soup. I don't know how many of you know it. Okay. But there was a girl in my life. No doubt. I talked about that with you yesterday. The girl's name was Rishita. I wanted her to be my, secret question and password. Like an OTP. What can I do about it? Isn't it? Now seriously, how many of you have thought about the startup shit? That I will quit my job. Let's do your own work. How many of you have thought about it? Hey, there are some people in your team as well. Take care. How many of you know about the struggle of a startup guy? Good. There are few people here. probably are bitten by the startup bug and they know the real pain. Is there pain in startup? What do you say?
Actually, I'm part of startup founder, so yeah, but still, quite.
So you don't have to arrange the salaries for your people.
No.
Oh, then you don't know the pain.
No, it's still painful.
It's still painful?
Yeah.
Why? They pinch you with pins?
It's quite difficult.
Oh, you have a process in your startup.
Wow.
Never heard about it.
Going down, so I got many done after.
अरे process मतलब startup process. They are like loving your mother-in-law. This is for girls. Mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. How much love they show. Girls will understand it. Process and startup.
That we can't stop talking.
That's like the same, combination. Startups would love to love the process, unless it is happening in some other company. We will, as startup guys, I am a startup guy. You know what is the startup I have done? I've done a startup in my life that I want all the women in my life to love me. When I say my life, my mom, my wife, and my kid. But then I am a manager. Nobody loves managers. So what idiots are not happy because you don't get their prices? Management is not happy because they don't get the money. Family is not happy because you are never around. For example, this weekend, I had to take my family to a nice dinner or something. That was what the plan of my wife was. And then on Thursday, I said, I'm booking tickets, I'm going to Bangalore. So what about our plan? No, which plan? I told you this 2 months back. So who remembers what you told 2 months back? 2 months back you also said that I am the most wonderful person you have met in your life. Next day you fought with me like crazy. I thought, it is a joke. So managers, how many of you are managers? Actual managers, not the leads, not the senior managers, managers managing a team. Come on guys, I'm not going to roast you. God promise. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, you also, I know it. Come on, you said this to me yesterday. What's it is, guys? Don't tell me a lie. I remember you. I have, elephant memory. You know what is elephant memory? Except my wife, I remember everybody. You know the fun part about managers? Managers are like conference speakers. You know why? They tell you to do something. Implementation is, have you heard Sadhguru? The body should be aligned to the universe. How? Find it. Managers, we need to do delivery transformation. How? Make a PPT. It has happened with me. I was in a company, CEO company. Now we have this Al-Katora Stadium booked for this guy. And the guy is coming out on a lotus, as if Bhagwan Vishnu is back. Actually, the stage is set, and then there are drums going dun, 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 and then there's this lotus flower, and on that, Shri 1008, CEO of that company comes out. We are clapping crazy because our manager has said whoever claps more whistles will get, good, nice prizes. We are not clapping for the CEO. We are looking manager sitting on this side. Okay. I was leading the team. I was a manager. So during his 45-minute talk, he used this word delivery transformation. Our company, in the typical thing, our company needs to go through the delivery. And I'm looking at India. I know this guy says the same shit when he goes to his Indonesia partners, to Pakistani partners, to Brazilian partners. I am looking for the delivery transformation. So next day, the president of services comes to us and says, guys, delivery transformation. India head comes to us, calls us out, guys, delivery transformation. Inquisitive people like me, we can bring deep shit. I stood up, was questioned. Yes, what is delivery transformation? Good point. Why don't you prepare a PPT on your thoughts and present it to everybody next week? लकड़ी क्यों पड़ी है झाड़ी में? Okay? So there is this management lesson I learned. When you are in deep shit, don't talk. That is how life gives you, lessons, especially management lessons. Anyways, I am reading a lot of books these days. I love books. When your wife doesn't love you, kid is going to be in her teens soon. And kids are in their teens. Enemies, yes or no? Yes. I was an enemy to, my parents. My parents thought I will do nothing in my life. I did engineering. Nothing in life. My days, only if you want to be something in life, you should be an IAS, Indian Administrative Services. It's like, the highest post you can get in government. If you cannot do IAS, you'll be, if not a doctor, probably a CA. And then खुरचन, पता है आपको खुरचन क्या होती है? कभी अंडा भुर्जी बनाए हो? तो मेरे टाइम में वो खुरचन सारा जो है ना वो इंजीनियरिंग में जाता था. So the leftover on the pan, engineers. So when somebody calls me, what is the future of engineers? I say engineering is like a kachre ka dher. IITians, NITians, they are on the outer side. So when the shovel comes in, first. People like me from a D-grade college, we remain there. That municipality excavator is gone and we are still there lying. Wait for us, and then we wait for the off-campus. Now it is not true today. Anybody who has done his or her engineering after 2015, anybody here? Oh, good. Okay, you. Yes, you. Yes, you. Yeah. How many marks you got? How much was your percentage in third year? Oh, yes. He got it. We have eye contact. Yeah, see? You don't try to come in. You are wearing shades. You cannot see. Yeah, yes, sir. How much you got in your third year?
Around
90?
90. 90.
Baba, that is equivalent to
85. Oh.
okay. 90. ठीक है, संतोष भाई. 90. That is more than what I got in second year and third year together. How many bags you had in your engineering?
Never.
Eh? Are you an engineer?
Only.
How much you smoked in engineering? And old monk? So 4 out of 2 things you are good. How many girlfriends you had? Okay, one last question.
Still 90.
Was your girlfriend in the same college? Yeah, probably then he had a girlfriend. Otherwise, most of the engineers in my time, but not in the college. So if a girl smiles at you, girlfriend, ये तुम्हारी भाभी है. जगत भाभी होगी वो, क्योंकि 50 ग्रुप्स की भाभी है वो, और भाभी को पता भी नहीं बेचारी कि वो भाभी है. Has it ever happened with you? This is for girls. You found that there are boys groups fighting for you? No? Have you never heard? शेर. आपने डिस्कवरी किया? आपने डिस्कवरी कभी नहीं देखा? एक शेर आया, दूसरा शेर आया, अब एक शेर मादा को आकर्षित करने के लिए दूसरे शेर पे झपट्टा मारा. Lions learned it from engineering college. They were in an engineering college and they learned this art there. Never had this experience. And you guys are being very humble. Anybody who did engineering in 90, 2000, good. How many of you were ragged in your engineering? So you know, there was very funny thing that our seniors used to do when we were in engineering. Our girls' hostel was right behind the staff quarters. So as a fresher, what you had to do was take your shirt off in front of the staff quarters, then take any stick, pretend it's your sword, then say Yalgar ho, and try to go to the wall and jump over the wall towards the girls' hostel side. The only problem was that most of us, when we enter engineering after 12th, we are leaving the home for the first time, isn't it? And the second problem was the wall, 25 feet. The third problem was all these Prithviraj, they are fighting, left. They are doing this. So, crossing a 25 feet wall was difficult. One guy, the real Prithviraj, he did it. He managed to go over. You know what was the next problem? वापस कैसे आएगा रे? अब तो फंस गया बेटा. And then, in my days, have you, in school, college, has any teacher slapped you ever?
Yes.
You know, we guys, why are we selfless without ego? All our ego was taken by who gave our ego left, right and center every time we do a mistake. This new age with no slap and nothing, there's a problem. So I'm reading a lot of self-help books, and in one of the books I read, that you should be brutally honest all the time, because then you don't have to remember anything. Another self-help group, I read that you should always talk good about people. Okay? So I don't give a fuck about what you think about. You're a great audience. Thank you. That's my time.